Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Retro Life for You movies of the 1980s, 1990s. Today, we're diving into the cult 1980s team comedy, Just One of the Guys, a gender bender high school classic that played with identity, very much so, romance, and the desire to be taken seriously. How can you take somebody seriously when she's dressed like a dude, right?
Yeah,
Released by Columbia Pictures in 1985, the film earns its place in the pantheon of 80s teen films, even if it did not set the box office on fire. My name is Chris Adams, host of the show, and this is Marty Phillips with us today. And Marty, I agree with you, Buddy is
yeah,
hilarious, but we are
but he
talking
is hilarious.
one of the guys. So, I believe you brought this up to me, didn't you? A couple of weeks ago or a week ago?
I did, I did.
Yeah, you
But
said you saw it flash on TV and you watched it again or something like that.
I did. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was flipping around on the old Roku and just happened to be click click click, and then all of a sudden I was like, hey, I remember this movie, and it was about maybe 15 minutes into the movie, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and watch it.
I haven't watched it in several years myself before today. It hasn't been that long. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I watched it again. And I was just telling you earlier, I don't know why it's set differently today versus 2 or 3 years ago to me, but it felt a little bit cheesier to me in a sense, with the way that she was dressing up as a guy and trying to portray herself as a guy. And I told you that, it's like you think it would take more than just somebody, a girl dressing up in like a suit or boys' clothes and putting her little deep sound to her voice or something. Yeah, you would think
Exactly.
it would take more, but everybody just goes with it like it's nothing, and it's kind of funny. It's humorous, Um, in case
like
anybody
one
is
of
not
like one of my favorite like one of my favorite scenes is literally like where the coach is like, they're all in the gym, and so she's standing there, and then he's all looking at everybody, and he's like, shirt skins,
right.
shirt skins, and then she sees them all taking their shirts off, and she's all like, "What? No, and then she doubles over and hits the floor, and she's all like, "Oh, my stomach, coach."
I ate the cafeteria food.
I
Oh,
can't hear you.
oh. I wonder if that'll work for me at work. I ate the
It
kitchen
might.
food.
It might.
Oh.
You never know. It might. So
They know how bad that kitchen food is. They might fall for it. Who knows?
yeah,
They
yeah.
may just send it back to the health center too, or the infirmary area. I don't know. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Be like, here
yeah,
you go, Pepto Bismol. Get back to work.
right. Remember a little dirt. Eat a cracker, as one of our former bosses, Mr. Mark Brown, used to say. Eat a cracker and come in anyway.
Speaking of that man, may he rest in peace. He just recently passed away.
I did not
So
know that. I
yeah,
did not
he
know
did.
that.
He passed away about a week ago. So
Oh wait, really?
yeah,
He was actually a pretty nice guy outside of work.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, he
but
was actually.
as your supervisor and boss, he was pretty challenging to work with.
Yeah, yes, he was. So
But, well, in case anybody is drawing a blank on this movie or has never seen the movie, at its core, just one of the guys follows the character Terry Griffith, a smart and attractive high school student who is convinced her journalism teacher rejects her work because she's a girl. Determined to prove her point, she dresses as a boy and enrolls at a rival high school under the name Terry, still, but Terry with a Y, not an I. Like that's going to make the difference. With the help of her younger, hormone obsessed brother, Buddy, and her best friend, Denise, she navigates male friendships, bullies, and even falls for a guy, all while trying to win respect and a summer internship at the newspaper. The movie's basically got themes of gender bias in it, the performative nature of masculinity, Modern twist on
Mm.
Shakespeare, believe it or not, which I'll explain further in a few minutes, loosely inspired by Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, makes this more than just a goofy comedy. It is a goofy comedy, though. I'm not even sure if I put
It
this
is
one.
a good comedy.
It is. I'm not sure if I put this under 80s teen films. They try to put this under teen films for the 80s, but 80s teen films to me is more like Weird Science and you know
Breakfast Club.
Johnny Be Good,
Yeah,
Pretty in Pink, the
yeah,
whole the whole series of movies with the Brat Packs in them. I mean, those are more like teenage, the teen movies. Just One of
yeah.
the Guys was just a good comedy. Is what I consider
Yeah.
it to be, just a pretty good
But
comedy.
I mean, it did have a younger audience, well, actors in it also. So I
I mean,
mean, I guess
it's not
that could be
like
the thing.
they all went on to become, you know, A-level actors and actresses or anything. I mean, you have William Zabka, who had already done the Karate Kid before he did this. Went on to do Back to School, and he had a little spot in National Lampoon's European Vacation at some point. He played a typical bully role in most of the movies he was in,
Yeah,
but he never. But let's face it, he never went on to be like an A-lister in movies. It's not like he was Stallone or Schwarzenegger or Denzel or any
yeah,
Keanu
yeah,
Reeves, anybody who commanded big money. Same thing,
exactly.
Joyce Heiser that played the lead role. She'd been in a few things, but she didn't go on to do a lot of A-lister stuff.
Yeah.
But that
Well,
doesn't
the
mean
only
that.
other the only other thing that I remember her from is I don't know if you remember it or not, but the old Flash series that was in the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah.
She was either a reporter or she was a detective, and she was in that show. So
I don't remember what her role was. I know she was in it. It's been
mhm,
a minute since that version of Flash has been on.
yeah,
Um, it didn't exactly do very well, but for comic book fanatics, it was a cool thing to see
especially in the 90s.
in the
So
'90s. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of that stuff going on, so at the
mhm,
time, exactly, not a lot.
all right.
Some, but not a lot. Some pre-production things on this. Working. Do you know the working title of this movie? Um, it has a little throwback to the working title has a throwback in the movie at the end of it when she's typing up her article. Did you notice the name of her article?
Mm,
Her story she was typing up.
not offhand. I mean, I didn't really look at it that much. So,
So her story she was typing up was entitled "I Was a Teenage Boy,"
and that
and
was going to be the working title of the movie.
the working title before landing just one of the guys was "I Was a Teenage Boy." For
Yeah, I
sure.
think this one of the guys is way better than that. So,
Yeah, so they got a little throwback for that there, a little kind of a little nod to it. Screenwriting, while Dennis Feldman and Jeff Franklin received official writing credits, director Lisa Gottlieb collaborated on multiple drafts with Mitch Giannunzio, although he was not credited anywhere in the film as far for writing or anything. I mentioned earlier Shakespearean roots story constructs echoes Twelfth Night with a female protagonist disguising herself as a man to prove her mettle, just set in suburban American high schools instead. For casting notes, there was one real threat to the role of Terry that Joyce Heiser had, and that was Jennifer Jason Lee, who had been in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
hmm.
Um,
and she was up for the role.
Well, she screen tested for Terry before the role ultimately went to Joyce Heiser. Joyce Heiser was afraid that um, she was 26 years old, so
Mm.
afraid she may not
Be as young to pull
pass
off
for high
the
school. Right. She's afraid they wouldn't think of her as high school age as much as Jennifer Jason Lee would have passed for it.
all right.
Um, Clayton Rohner won the role of Rick over up and coming actor James LeGros, L-E space
Yeah, it's like
G-R-O-S.
great.
Do you know who that is? I don't know who that is.
I've heard the name. I'm just not sure who he is.
They had a series of back and forth auditions before they finally made up their mind and went with Clayton Rohner. So there was a challenge for the two main characters. It looks like in this movie.
Hmm.
On to the cast and highlights and their other work. Joyce Heiser, we mentioned Terry, also playing the role of Terry.
Exactly.
Terry Griffith.
Terry and Terry. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there
or
you go.
let's just put it this way: Terry.
Terry. Yes, exactly. She's known primarily for this film. However, Heiser had roles in Valley Girl and This Is Spinal Tap. And after acting, she turned to writing and producing screenplays. She's done some other things as well. I don't know if you know this or not. They said she dated Springsteen for a little bit.
I actually looked that up.
Yeah.
She was with the boss for I think it said from it was 1978 to 1982 or 84. It
Now,
was
he had seen her at a party they were both at, and he got Gary
right.
Busey to introduce him to her.
Uh-huh.
And from that point forward, she went on tour with him the rest of his tour.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, isn't that kind of cool?
Mm-hmm. Yep. The boss.
She also did a couple of music videos in the 80s.
Yeah, one of them was with ZZ Top. I looked that up too. So.
You're right. One of them is ZZ Top. I'm trying to remember which video it was now. I think it was Pincushion.
Yeah, Pincushion. That was it.
Pincushion. Okay. And then she was also in a video with Dan Hartman, I Can Dream About You.
Ah, very cool.
An 80s song. So just like a friend of the show, Lori, if you happen to be listening, we do hope you to come on with us soon. It's been a while. But Lori was in a few music videos. She was in Van Halen's Hot for Teachers. She was in LA Guns Sex Action video, and a couple others. I forget the names of the songs. I believe one of them was called Sunset Boulevard. I believe one of them was anyway. Getting off topic. As usual, right? As usual.
Yeah, as usual.
But point being, she's been around for in a little ways. Clayton Rohner, that played Rick Morehouse. Rick was also a new guy in school. He'd just been there for 2 months, he said, I believe you told her.
Yeah.
They said he was a professional new kid. He's 7 schools in 3 years. I don't remember why that was, but 7 schools in 3 years. This was his film debut. He later appeared in horror and action films like April Fool's Day, The Relic, and TV series such as Murder One and Ozark. I remember April Fool's Day. It's been a while, long time since I've seen that, but I do remember that. The Relic sounds familiar to me, but I can't place it.
The Relic was that maybe where it was about the museum and it was where that creature had got like transported overseas to the museum, and then it started rampaging like through the museum, eating people, and it was a really cool movie. So
I'd look it up again. I can't place it. Sounds definitely like an 80s movie to me, or a early 90s
no,
movie.
I think it was early 90s for the Relic. So
Yeah, has that feel for it the way you described it.
Yeah.
Billy Jane, also known as Billy Jacoby, that was his earlier credits were Billy Jacoby. He played Buddy Griffith, Terry's brother.
The hilarious one.
Buddy is hilarious. Marty says under his name, and he was the comedy relief for the show for sure. just a young teenage boy, basically nothing but girls.
Hormones.
Girls on the
Hormones.
mind, or hormones, exactly. Hormones were just going crazy for him at this point.
Rampage.
The
Rampage.
parents were out of
Out
town
of
for 2
town.
weeks,
Yeah,
so he thought for sure in that 2 weeks he was going to get lucky or something, and not that it was from lack
exactly.
of trying.
especially the scene where Buddy, Kevin, and that girl that he was that they were all sitting there on the well, Kevin was in the chair, but Buddy and the girl was on the couch. And then she was all about studying the geometry or whatever. And Buddy was all like, he's looking at her, he's blowing on her hair and trying to, and she was all like, get away, get away.
Hey, he got an A for effort. He was trying, right?
Uh-huh.
He was trying.
But when she was getting ready to walk out the door, and then he lays on the floor, and he's like, "What if I told you that I was hung like a bear?" And she just kind of looks at him and goes, "Well, are you?" And he was like, "No, but I." I adore you, and she just looks at him and she's like, "Bye, buddy."
Bye. It was crazy. I'm out here. William Zabka, Billy Zabka, played Greg Tolan. He's the bully in school, always going around and flipping tables up
Flipping
at
the tables,
lunchtime.
yeah. Well, lifting the tables up, yeah.
Yeah, lifting them up and dumping everything off of them.
Mhm.
Picking up some of the nerds in school and curling them by their
By their underwear.
So their underwear and their underwear and their belt loops. It looked like, depending on what mood he was in. He was already recognizable as Johnny Lawrence from the Karate Kid whenever he did this movie. So
Exactly.
he continues to be associated with the typical '80s bully character that he. I really he did it well. So I mean, what can we say? I mean, he did a good job of it. So, there was something about. Oh yeah, there was a thing about Karate Kid reference in this movie. Did you catch it?
Did I catch it?
Yeah, did you catch the Karate Kid reference they made?
Was there?
So one girl said something about Terry looking like the Karate Kid or something.
Oh yeah. She goes, and Sandy's character, she was all like, check him out. He looks like he dresses like Buddy. He dresses like Buddy or Stephen Costello or Buddy Holly, and he looks like, and he
Elvis
looks
Costello.
just like, yeah. And then she goes, and he's got the looks of Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. Because she had her when she had her hair cut short, she kind of resembled Ralph Macchio in a little bit,
Yeah,
and
a lot.
and then of course Billy Zabka's in the movie. He was Johnny Lawrence, and then also another thing that like in real life exactly, Joyce Heiser was 26 when she's doing this movie. Ralph Macchio was 28 when he was doing the Karate Kid.
That's great.
There was a age range comparison as well with that. So that's why it was so funny and everything with the little reference they had.
How was Ralph Macchio when he did The Outsiders? He must have been really young when he did that.
I don't have that information top of my handy or anything. I just know that he was 28 when he did Karate Kid. They were talking about as they kept doing more movies, he couldn't keep. As the older he got, he still couldn't keep pulling it off. But I mean, the way he looks now, he looks like he could play a college kid. I mean,
yeah, he still looks young.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
I mean,
him and Tom Cruise are vampires. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, Tom Cruise definitely is a vampire. He's Lestat.
legit. Lestat.
Yeah,
Um,
legit Lestat.
right. Then we got the character Sandy, played by Cheryl Lynn Finn, who will be coming to Nashville at the was it Blue Moon Festival
Yeah,
tattoo
as
horror and tattoo
full
full moon.
moon horror and tattoo show. Yep,
I don't know why I always want to say blue moon for full moon. Yes.
yep.
Um, says gained later fame as Audrey Horne on Twin Peaks, and she
Uh-huh.
appeared in major films like Of Mice and Men, and of course she was in this as Sandy.
Yeah, and there's actually two people from Twin Peaks that are going to be at the Full Moon and Horror Tattoo Show. Charlene Finn and the I forget the actor's name, but he played her father, Laura Palmer's father in Twin Peaks. So two people from Twin Peaks are going to be at the Horror Tattoo Show.
I have a confession to make. I've never seen Twin Peaks.
Oh no! Mm, shame, shame,
No,
Christopher.
I never thought it looked like something I wanted to see. What can I say?
Uh, the thing about Twin Peaks was it was good, but it was so strange. I mean, you would really just have to pay really close attention to the show
Mm-hmm.
to really get what was going on because there was so much going on all at once, and that was like every episode. So
And it's the certain movies just don't really appeal to me, and I just won't watch them. I may watch them later on and be like, okay, I could have watched it. Like it took me forever to watch. What's the movie with Travolta and Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis in the group?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it took me forever to watch Pulp Fiction.
Oh, dude, Pulp Fiction was an awesome movie.
It took me forever to get around to it because it jumps around so crazy. Like
Yeah. Well,
so, I
I
just
mean, the movie literally starts at the end of the movie, and then it works its way literally back to the beginning of the movie. So I don't know. It's crazy.
it's all over the place, Marty.
It's
All over
all
the
over the place.
uh, Tony Hudson, she played the friend of Terry. She played Denise, a TV and film character actress with appearances on Knight Rider, A Team, Love Boat, quite a few other shows that she'd been on, and several other movies she'd been a part of as well. Um, like it mentioned, character actress, and that's the kind of people that I would like to talk more to. I think, matter of fact, I reached out to her. I'm going to see if she'll come on the show and just talk about just
Mm.
being in the business, as an actress, not necessarily, as an A-lister or anything. I don't want to word it to her that way. I'm not because that sounds wrong wording it that way, I guess. But I
Yeah,
mean, let's face it. She's not being given, these Julia Roberts style movie offers, right? So,
right,
but she's
right.
been in some things. Can't say that she hasn't been in her share of movies and TV shows. If we're talking movies, then we got like let's see, we go back to the 80s all the way back here. Um TV station called a TV series called Capital. She's been in TJ Hooker as an episode, The Greatest American Hero, a movie called Places in the Heart in 1984. I remember that movie. I don't think I watched it, but I
Yeah, I
remember
do
it.
too. Yeah,
Knight Rider, just one of the guys, The Love Boat, Nothing in Common, School Spirit, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 in 1990. She was in that. Something called Nessie and Me. I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it. Charlie's Christmas Wish. Uh, just quite a few, like I said, quite a few things, quite a few TV series too. So that's the kind of
yeah,
person I would like to get on here and hear a lot from about how the business works. And they're usually the ones with all the best stories because
exactly,
they've been in so
exactly.
many different things and they've worked with so many different people. At one point, she was also married to Dirk Benedict, which from the A Team, so it played face.
That's cool.
And let's see who we got next here. That's really the bulk of what we listed as the main stars. But if we're looking on here, some of the others, you've got. Let's see. Deborah Goodrich played the role of Deborah, which was the guy, the girl that William Zabka was dating at the time, I believe, right?
And then Rick, asked her to the prom. So.
Right. And then Terry's boyfriend Kevin was Lee McCloskey. He's got he looks a little familiar, but I can't quite place where else I've seen him at though. I don't want to click on him and then dig through his stuff, so it might take forever to find what I recognize him from at that point. But these are the kind of people. Now the teacher, I'm trying to find the teacher. He was the teacher in her regular school.
Yeah, her
was it Raymaker?
Yeah, Raymaker.
So okay, so it was Mr. Raymaker. He was the one that was her teacher for the. Yeah, that's him. I'm looking at a picture of him now. Okay, yeah, that guy. You've seen him in things. He was in. He had a role in the just a little brief role in the Avengers, the first Avengers movie. Lethal Weapon 3, Conspiracy Theory. You've seen him in a lot of things. You just don't know you've seen him. He's one of them people that is in everything.
Yeah, he's hidden in the background. One of those characters.
Another character actor, basically. Been in a lot of stuff, got a lot of work put in, but you just may not.
Hidden in the background.
Yeah, you may not recognize him. 2 episodes of ER. Star Trek Voyager, The X-Files, a TV show called LA Heat for 47 episodes. I was thinking that he was in Lethal Weapon 2, I thought, as as the guy for the bomb squad that come in. It might not be him, though.
I don't think that was him.
He was in Lethal Weapon 3 as just the detective called Ernie, it says.
So, yeah. I think it was like just in the precinct, like when it just showed us him walking around in the precinct. He was kind of just like a background character. So
yeah. It's all good though, but he's one of them people that you see around in a lot of stuff. You just you know him when you see him, but you don't know who he is, basically. And so we go to the box office performance. Now, this is not exactly a stellar film when it comes to box office. Despite some solid test screenings with teens, Just One of the Guys struggled at the box office during the huge 80s young adult film boom. It had 11.5 million domestic gross. Released April 26, 1985 across 1,200 theaters. And that's about all it made. It's not a commercial hit, but it developed a strong cult following through cable TV and home video, like a lot of other things do. It found its audience, at some
later in life. Later in life.
It always happens that way, don't it? With a lot of these movies, they find their audience later down the road, and it's never at the theaters where the money's made.
I wonder if they still get residuals off of this. Like, if anybody that was in the movie, like if somebody watches it on like a cable station or like your background right now, it's on Tubi. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if maybe they get some kind of residuals off of it being played on Tubi or Roku or.
I'm sure they do, but I don't know if it's much really, because I was kind of laughing at this. We had Keith Coogan on with me and Marty not too long ago doing Toy Soldiers, as a lot of you might remember if you that listen to us regularly. And I was looking at one of his videos on Instagram. He was thanking the people in this one country in Europe, because this one movie he was in got like so many views in such a period of time that he got a residual check came in, and I think it was like for $11.84. Because you got taxes, you got fees and things like that that come out, and then you get what's left over. So $11.84 for that. I don't know, unless a person has got a really, really solid movie or TV series that's on repeat, especially TV series. If your TV series is syndicated, then you can, like in reruns. Like look at Friends. How many different channels does it rerun on?
At least 4 that I know of.
Right, and it reruns a lot.
It does.
And so they're on TV all the time. So they got to be getting some pretty solid residual checks just off of that.
Exactly. And I mean, just from what I heard, just for the last season of Friends, they were. I don't know if it was true or not, but literally the whole cast was literally getting $1 million an episode.
Yeah, they were. That's exactly right. They all held out till everybody got the same pay.
Yeah.
And so they were all taken care of. But movies like this right here, I don't think they get real solid residual checks. And I think it's got to be, I think it has to make so much probably. I don't know. Maybe they get residual checks for like 17 cents or something. I don't know. I mean, would you want a check for 17 cents? I'd be like, no, I'm sorry.
Really?
That's all right. You keep that. That's all right. I don't need 17 cents. All right. Yeah. You keep that. Here's a quarter. Flip that at them. Go give it to somebody else. James Brown had a little cameo contribution.
Yeah, he was plastered all over. He was plastered all over Rick's wall.
He was, but he actually spent days on the set working with Clayton Roner to teach his dance moves to him for Rick.
Really, that's cool.
Yeah, so they got to meet him. And he was on there, and they did that whole thing with that. There's like I said, a couple of in movie type jokes. We talked about the whole thing about the Karate Kid thing they did. There's also graffiti in the boys' bathroom referencing Joyce Heiser and director Lisa Gottlieb. But it said it's like a little cheeky set inside joke that me and you probably wouldn't know what we were looking at on there, but it's in there basically around them. And I guess the set people did the graffiti and left it in there, and then they found out after the fact, probably, or something. So
because if you notice the part where Terry, is walking into the boys' bathroom, and she's kind of just easing in there, making sure nobody's in there, and then she kind of eases on in, and she was like, she's kind of looking at the urinals and everything. She's like, yeah, no, and then all of a sudden that dude comes walking through the door, and she quickly eases up to the urinal. She's all like, oh yeah, I'm done. And
just finishing up.
Yeah,
he's like I care. Like I care. Whatever. That's hilarious. Somebody asked me earlier that watched it, said she goes, do boys' bathrooms really not have doors on the stalls? I'm like, yeah, they got doors on the stalls.
Yeah, they do. Nobody wants to see nobody taking a dump.
No, nobody wants to walk in and see something like that. Of course, they got doors on them. I don't care what the movie said. Now, we ain't gonna talk about the pee troughs or anything. We ain't going that far back.
Yeah, no.
Nobody liked those.
Yeah.
And see, for Heiser's transformation, Joyce has to convincingly play both Terry and Terry. Heiser wore a wig for early scenes, and then later on cut her hair short for later ones when she just went with a short hair look. Period. At that point.
Yeah.
Let's see. Breaking the norm. The director once fired a cinematographer during production for dismissing her shot list. A rare story of on-set conflict during that era. Usually during that era, when you got people on there that you were there for the long haul. You come in, you had a job, you did your job, that was it. You left, it was over with. But they had a big controversy with this one person and just basically fired them from the set. Not sure why that made big news, but to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned earlier to you, Columbia intentionally let Terry's guy look resemble Ralph Macchio, tying into the studio's Karate Kid success because it was through Columbia and influencing the in-film jokes. The film was released on Blu-ray in 2020 with commentary and special features renewing interest amongst fans. There was something I read about this movie where Joyce Heiser, she definitely later regretted the infamous ripping her shirt open scene at the end of the movie, exposing her breast to her friend there to show that she wasn't wearing.
The highlight of every 13-year-old that went and seen this movie.
Right. Yeah, they all left happy, wanting to go back and watch it again for some reason.
Exactly.
She was very hesitant in doing it. She didn't want to do it, and she basically had a no nudity clause in her contracts and stuff. But Lisa Gottlieb, that directed it, convinced her that she wouldn't be able to make her, when she comes out to expose herself as a girl to Rick, and he didn't believe her. This was the way, the over the top way that you made him understand. Because he's like, "What are those? What are those?
Yeah, what are those?" Oh, and then the whole part where she grabs him and kisses him on the beach, and then he kind of jerks back and he goes, "Don't worry, everybody, he's got tits."
Right. that made it better.
Yeah, that made it a whole lot better.
Oh, and the graffiti. I see the graffiti thing now. There is a graffiti where it says Lisa and Joyce are, that it calls them a bad name. So that's the graffiti on the wall in the bathroom. I see that now. That's crazy. As seen in her room, Terri Griffith, played by Joyce Heiser, has a few Bruce Springsteen posters. At the time of filming, Heiser had already been dating Springsteen for several years, and he even visited the set a couple of times. She said in an interview that after the success of this movie, she had a great deal of offers for more high school movies, even though she's in her late 20s. She also had offers for roles with more nude scenes, but turned them all down. She wasn't too keen on doing it to begin with. She had said if she had known at the time that internet would become a big thing and that something like that would become forever, that she definitely would not have done it.
Yeah, and they can pull it up on the internet real easy.
Yeah, it'll be all over the internet at this point, but she definitely would not have done it. Heiser had to wrap her torso with ace bandages under her wardrobe when she played the male version of Terri Griffith to flatten her breasts. She said it was tremendously uncomfortable in the 90-degree desert heat while filming in Scottsdale and Phoenix, Arizona. Clayton Roner stated his mispronunciation of Cyndi Lauper has haunted him, and he hears the butchered surname almost every day. I don't remember anything about a mispronunciation of Cyndi Lauper. Did I miss it?
Yeah, you must have. I guess I did too, because I don't remember him saying anything about Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, maybe it's something else. I don't know. This was the second of what would be called the William Zabka Bully trilogy. in which he played the bully villain who picks on initially weaker students with dark, often black hair in between the Karate Kid and Back to School. The plot of this film, loosely based on here's what I was talking about earlier, loosely based on William Shakespeare's play Twelfth Night. Terri Griffith, Joyce Hauser is Viola, Cesario character. Rick Morehouse is the Orsino character. Sandy, Sherilyn Finn, is the Olivia character. And Terry's brother Buddy is the Sebastian character, which is Viola's brother. I have no idea. Relief. Yeah, the comic relief. Buddy. Comic relief.
Buddy.
Once again, according to the director of the line, looks like the Karate Kid was in the script before William Zabka was even cast. The reason it's in the script, despite being a movie under a rival studio's banner, was because once Joyce Heiser was in the outfit with short hair, the crew tried to decide who she'd emulate in her male guise. They banded around a few names and thought she perhaps resembled somewhat Ralph Macchio, the star of that movie. Because the Karate Kid had just come out the previous year, the studio jumped at the chance to include a reference to a hit movie. The picture is ranked number 48 amongst Entertainment Weekly's 50 best high school movie list. Joyce Heiser was 27 years old, playing a teenager during the filming of this movie. This was the theatrical debut of the film director Lisa Gottlieb. I'm not sure what else she's done. I did not do my homework on that part.
Well, what else has she done? So.
On many of the international movie posters for this film, where American football is not familiar, the football helmets were replaced with soccer balls. So if you've noticed the
poster,
for those that don't know,
helmets, yeah.
Right. For those that don't know, it's like her in the football locker room, and she's, I guess, supposed to be just the girl version of herself, but she's got 2 football helmets covering her breasts. But in the European version, since football is soccer over there, they got 2 soccer balls instead.
What? How's that supposed to work?
I don't know, but we have to talk about these 2 guys real quick while I'm thinking about this. Ari Gross said that in the original shooting script, weirdos Willie and Phil were Trekkies. But since Star Trek in '66 was owned by Paramount, the studio executives disallowed any mention of the film and its characters. Gross and Robert Fieldsteel, who played Phil, workshopped their characters as being from another planet, improvised their dialogue and their stuff.
Yeah, because they're like, when they started separating them in the gym, they're all like, ah!
But when they're in the classroom, with the teacher, and she wants one of them to tell her about I forget what play it was or something, or a book, or maybe it was a book. It was a book, and he couldn't do it. They were like, it's like they were talking in alien language to each other, like eat boop 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 boop. Stupid stuff, stupid stuff like that. And also crazy laughs they got, and they're like, we were our job from our planet is to simulate what
observe your culture,
observe your culture and simulate the teenage we of not doing homework, and we partook we had partaken in many buds and hops or something like that. He said basically they were drinking. I guess they got drunk the night before.
Exactly.
And so the teacher's mad and tells them they want the homework done. She wants it done now, and she walks off, and the one goes, the Earth lady is very mad, right? Perhaps from not getting enough sleep. The other one goes, or not enough sex. Then they start noting it down in their notebooks, what they witnessed. It's crazy. Heiser was nominated for the Youth in Film Award, which is given to actors or singers under 21, but since she was over 21, she told them she couldn't accept it. Which is probably right. She shouldn't.
Yeah.
While considering if she would film the topless scene, Heiser discussed the script and the scene with a very close friend, another actor, who advised her against it by saying, "Honey, with those breasts, if you go topless in that scene, no one you meet will ever look you in the eyes again." And that freaked her out, but she ultimately decided to do it. In 2010, Heiser said that if she'd known that the internet would be invented a few years later, like I said earlier, and her breasts would end up on porn sites all over the net, there was no chance that she would have done it. There's a quote from her. I got, I got to go to this quote for you, Marty. You'll like this. Um, because IMDb will get you quotes from the movies usually. Well, there's no quote from the movies. Well, there is, but I mean, um, let me go to her because it's on her thing, not the movies thing. So when you go to just her and you go down to quotes from her, she says in an interview in 2005, "My life changed after just one of the guys in 1985. People stopped looking at my face and looked at my chest instead." You're like, "Hi, it's nice to meet you."
Exactly.
Crazy. Oh my god, Marty, what about this movie would have been your favorite part? I know you said that Buddy's the he's hilarious. He's the comedy
Well,
part of it. But what did you
that
like
whole
most about it?
part, that whole part where he's trying to make the moves on that girl that comes over to the homework part, that was one of my favorite scenes. But literally, like one of my favorite scenes, and it was kind of weird. It was a weird moment in the movie too. But it's the one part where she's walking up to the one guy and she's gonna sit at the table, and then he was the one that was called Lizard and everything, and so she sits down, and then he's all like, "Yeah, I got my pet right here, and and this is Snowball," and he pulls out the mouse out of the box, and she's all like, "Oh," and then Terry's all like, "Oh, that's cute. I like Snowball," and then he goes, "No, this is Snowball's lunch." And he reaches up and grabs that daggum snake off of around his
Right.
shoulders, and he goes, "This is Snowball," and and she's like, "That's okay. You just do you, and I'll get up." And she just,
Yeah, she's like, "It was nice meeting you. Enjoy your lunch."
"Yeah, nice meeting you. Enjoy your lunch."
On her way out. I, you know, there's probably a couple that stand out for me. When Buddy's trying to teach her how to act like a guy.
Yeah, yeah. Spread your legs apart.
Yeah, he's like, "You gotta," he goes, "Guys, take
Yeah,
up space. Open your legs.
stretch your
Open your
balls.
stance a
Stretch
little
your
bit.
balls.
No, open your stance. Guys, take up space. Now let me see you scratch your nuts," he said. And then she's like, "Come on." He goes, "No, really, let's see it." She goes, to do a little quick scratch at her top of her leg or something almost. He goes, "That is pathetic. That let me show you how this is done." He goes, "You got the quick shift," and he just like grabs himself and shifts to the side, and then he goes, "And sometimes you really just got to get in there and scratch good, you know." And she goes, "Well, maybe mine don't itch." He goes, "They all itch. It's a proven fact.
Hell, bitch.
Let me see you walk." And then she starts to walk. He's like, "You know what? As long as you don't move, I think you just might pull it off."
Exactly.
That was a pretty good scene. When Rick gets up and does the thing on the lunchroom tables to
Yeah.
show up the bully.
Here's to you, Greg. Left.
So when he's like being a jock and he goes, "The general rule is they're making up for one of two things. They're either making up for a low IQ, or that they got a little weenie." And then he goes, "And for those of us in Greg's PE class, we
We
all know."
all know.
He's holding his little pinky out. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a couple of good scenes, funny scenes in this thing, but
Mhm.
overall, if I had to rank this movie as far as an '80s movie, like just a good feel '80s comedy, I would probably give it about a 7 out of 10. I think as far as that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, I agree with that. About a 7.5 out of
Yeah,
10.
the extra half is generous, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The extra half is for Buddy. So
Was for Buddy. Buddy put it over
yeah,
the top by a half.
yeah, Buddy put it over a half, just a smidgen.
Well, we are about at the point we're gonna start wrapping things up. Uh, if you enjoyed the movie itself, let us know in the comments here on the YouTube video or on one of our social medias that you'll find us at, which is Instagram and Facebook. We are listed under Retro Life for You, the number 4 and YOU. And so you'll find us there. Same thing on YouTube. If you go to www.youtube.com/at Retro Life for You, it takes you straight to all of our work we got there. Um, we are on anywhere where you get your music podcast or your audio podcast, that I should say. So mainly you'll find us where most everybody else finds us is on Spotify and on iTunes. We do, however, have a website at retrolife number 4 the letter u.com. You can listen to us in the web browser on the player built into the website there. Um, Normally I'll tell people you can watch us in the show notes as well, but honestly, I stopped putting the links in there here recently. I'm just like, it's on YouTube. Just go to YouTube. If you go to
Mhm.
YouTube, you can make sure you go ahead and sign up there, follow us, and hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Hit
Hit
the
the bell.
bell.
If you don't hit the bell, how are you going to know we got new stuff out? Really? You know, I mean,
Yeah,
that's how you.
very true. That is
But
very
if
true.
you, but just think about it. If you go to YouTube and you watch a video and you don't subscribe and hit the bell, I mean, shame on you. It's just like it takes like 30 seconds at the most, maybe, and it really helps us out a
Mhm.
lot. So if you do go, please make sure to follow us and hit that little bell so you know when we got something new that comes out. We'll try to make it worth the while. Marty, just write the show. Marty will send out checks, in his name. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's he's the man with the money. He's the man with the money. He'll take care of everything. And Travis will come dance at your next wedding if
Yeah.
whenever you have
We'll,
it. So
we'll make sure of that. So
with offers like that, how could you not follow us on YouTube? I mean, honestly. Matter of fact, since Travis will do that, you should go ahead and just follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Marty, any last thoughts before we go ahead and close up for the night?
No, none that I can think of.
You look like you had a lot of things going on there for a second. I thought maybe Marty's cooking on something over there, but yeah, it's hard to tell
Well,
sometimes.
I'm always cooking on something. You just never know about me.
Never know about you. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening to us this week. Be sure to check us out the following week. Well, if things go well for us, we got a little bit of a treat for you.
Then
Hopefully
in the
things work
middle of the
out.
week, actually.
I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want to jinx it and ruin anything. But
Oh,
if everything works out, I know what
two things.
only
Two
one
things.
only one comes the week after though. Only one. So what? I'll explain to you in a minute. Don't worry, I'll explain it to you. But yeah, if everything works out in the next couple of days, the following after this one will be a little bit of a treat for you guys. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week
Mhm.
on the next
Stay
edition.
retro.
Stay retro.